In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful, Param Karunamoy, Otishoy Dayawan, Allahor Name Shuru Korilam, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, today again I have come with two more poems, and in the previous 4 classes I discussed 10 poems, and with the completion of the discussion of these 2 poems, inshallah our syllabus shall be ended, that is syllabus shall be completed, and you are requested to listen the classes remaining inside your home over and over again, and inshallah you will be highly skilled, and the lesson of the poems shall help you to build your life properly. Now I am going to start our today's poems. Today's first poem is The Charge of the Light Brigade, and it was written by famous poet Lord Alfred Tennyson, and he is a British poet, and he is also called Poet Laureate, and he was born in 1809 and he died in 1892. And the second poem is I Died for Beauty, and it was written by Emily Dickinson, and she was born in 1830 and she died in 1886. Now let us start with the first poem, and before starting the first poem I would like to tell you that today's poem, The Charge of the Light Brigade, is actually the narration of the real war that took place in 1854 during the time of Crimean War, and it was actually a terrible war, and the British soldiers were sent there to attack the gunners of Russian and Cossack allied forces, and when they attacked the gunners with the sabers, that is one kind of swords, and with the swords they attacked the soldiers, those who were equipped with very much powerful weapons, and they had to be defeated very badly. Now here in this poem, let us discuss the poem line by line. Half a league, half a league. League means unit of distance actually, that is 1.5 miles. That is, by reading the poem we have come to know that someone actually has commanded to go forward, that is by crossing 1.5 miles, that is half a league. After crossing half a league, the soldiers are going to meet something. Let us see what are the soldiers going to see. Half a league onward. In this second line here, we have come to know that someone has commanded very clearly, that is to go onward by crossing half a league distance, all in the valley of death. Now in the third line of the first stanza, we have come to know that that is the area is actually like a valley of death. That is, valley of death means whoever goes there, he or she will be killed. That is, there is something terrible. And I already have told you that there was a war between British soldiers and the Russian and Cossack soldiers. That is, the soldiers of Russia were waiting there with mighty weapons, that is mighty guns and cannons, and the British soldiers were about to be killed. That is why the area is called Valley of Death. Rode the 600, that is 600 soldiers went there. Here is an important thing, that there were 600 soldiers, and they were actually belonging to England, and they were organized in the name of Light Brigade, and they were actually ordered to go forward to attack the Russian soldiers, and they were given only sabers. Sabers means sword, and it is really very much embarrassing and troublesome that they were ordered to go there to attack the enemies with sabers only. Those, though the enemies were equipped with mighty guns, mighty cannons. Now forward the Light Brigade, that is someone is commanding to go forward. The Light Brigade force has been commanded to go forward. Charge for the gunners, he said, that is someone actually has commanded them to go forward into the valley of death. Now they are actually forced into the valley of death. You know, I already mentioned that the soldiers of Russia were actually equipped with mighty guns, mighty cannons. That is why in the poem, the poet has narrated the area as a valley of death. Rode the 600 by. Here in the line we have come to know that as per the order of the commander, the soldiers actually went by riding their horses. Forward the light brigade, again light brigade has been ordered to go forward. Was there a man dismayed? Now here in this poem, a question has been asked whether any soldier was in dismay. That is, really no soldier was in dismay. That they were courageous, even though they were able to know that they were actually going to embrace their death, but they were in a smiling face, of course. Nor though the soldiers know someone had blundered. Actually, it was a real blunder. Blunder means big mistake. That is, the commander actually did the big mistake. He did the blunder. He ordered the soldiers to go to attack the soldiers, those who are the owners of guns, cannons, but he gave him his own soldiers, only sabers. Sabers means swords. There is not to make reply. There is not to reason why. Here, by these two lines, we have come to know that there was no anybody to explain the reason why they would attack, the enemy soldiers, though they were equipped with mighty guns, cannons, though they were given only sabers, and there was no anybody to explain the reason. There is but to do and die. That is, only way was opened in front of them, whether they would do and by doing they would die, or they would not do. But there was no any way to retreat from the position. Into the valley of death rode the 600. Here the valiant 600 soldiers went into the valley of death, and they were actually ready to fight against the Russian soldiers. Now, cannon to right of them. Here the poet has declared it clearly that cannons were actually in the right side of the soldiers. Cannon to left of them. They were bound to get the attack of cannon from their left side. Cannon in front of them. As long as the soldiers are heading towards the Russian soldiers, and Russian soldiers are equipped with mighty guns and cannons. So the soldiers of Britain, those who are 600 in number, and those who are organized in the name of the Light Brigade, they were being attacked. Bolide and thunder, that is terrible sound of the cannons were being heard. Here the poet has narrated the condition of the attacking sound, bolide and thunder. Stormed at with shoot and shell. Everywhere there were the shoot and shell. That is, the 600 soldiers of Britain were being attacked. Boldly they rode and while. That is, they were actually going to the Russian soldiers by riding on horses. So they were actually known as cavalry. And though as long as the Russian soldiers were ready or equipped with guns and cannons, they are known as actually artillery forces. Into the jaws of death, into the mouth of hell, rode the 600. Despite knowing the terrible ending of their or miserable death, they were actually heading towards, and they were bold enough to embrace their death. Flashed all their sabers bare. That is, by this time they have gone just to the closest contact of the Russian soldiers, and they started to attack. Then they opened up their sabers. That is, they opened up their swords, and they started to attack the Russian soldiers, even though they were equipped with guns and cannons. And to some extent, the British soldiers were able to kill the Russian soldiers also. Some soldiers are cut into pieces, flashed as they turned in air. When the sabers were moved in the sky, in the air, they were actually flashing, sabering the gunners there. By going to the Russian soldiers, they actually attacked, charging an army while all the world wondered. That is, the whole world was actually surprised by seeing the heroic activities of British soldiers. Though they were the owners of sabers, swords, but the Russian soldiers were equipped with guns and cannons. But they were not at all afraid of. Rather, they were very much brave. They were attacking because they were actually patriot, and they were actually inspired by the jail of patriotic jail. That is why they were actually embracing their death by attacking the enemies. Plunged in the battery smoke, that is, they were actually submerged under smoke of cannons and guns, right into the line they broke. Cossack and Russian. Here we have come to know that Cossack and Russian, these two are actually allied forces here, and they were attacking jointly, and they were actually resisting. And here the 600 soldiers in the name of Light Brigade, they were actually in the offensive mode, and Cossack and Russian soldiers were in defensive mode. Now, reel from the saber stroke, shattered and sundered. That is, when they were attacking with their swords, there were actually sounds of their attack. Then they rode back, but not the 600. Then there is a pathetic thing that though the British soldiers attacked bravely, they were not able to win the battle because they were not equipped with mighty weapon. They had only sabers, that is only swords. But the enemies, that is the Russian soldiers and the Cossack soldiers, were actually the owners of guns and cannons. So with their sabers, they were killed mercilessly. And at one point of the battle, they were bound to come back. But when they were coming back, they were not 600 in number, because by the time they completed their war, there were actually a lot of casualties. A lot of soldiers were killed. Now only a few soldiers were coming back. Cannon to right of them. Now the terribly pathetic matter is that even though they were coming back, they were also attacked. Cannon to left of them. From their left side, the cannons are there. Cannon behind them, when they were actually coming back, cannons attacked them from their behind, volleyed and thunder. That is, though the British soldiers were coming back, when when a lot of soldiers were killed, they decided to come back. But even though they were coming back, the enemy soldiers did not stop their attacking. They continued their attack with their cannons, with their guns. Stormed with shoot and shell, while horse and hero fell. That is, our cavalry, those who were actually were actually coming by riding on horse. They were attacked, and at the time of coming back, when they were attacked, their horses were killed, and they were also being killed. Then when the horses were wounded, the horse was actually crying bitterly, and they were actually creating terrible sound. That had fought so well came through the jaws of death. Though they were actually fighting bravely, now they are coming back because they were not able to cope with the enemy soldiers, and now they are actually coming back from the jaws of death, back from the mouth of hell. Now they are actually coming back from the mouth of hell. All that was left of them, left of 600, that is only a few soldiers were able to come back. That is, out of 600 soldiers, maximum soldiers are killed here. When can their glory fade? That is, here the war has been ended. Now in the final stanza, the poet is actually expressing his own views. Oh, the wild charge they made. That is, the poet is telling that though the British soldiers were killed here, they actually attacked the enemies bravely. All the world wondered, that is, the whole world was surprised to notice their heroic deeds. Honored the charge they made, that is, the way they attacked, it is to be actually honored. Honored the Light Brigade, Noble 600, that is, the Light Brigade is to be honored, and they have been considered as the noble soldiers. Now, dear listeners, now I am going to tell you in a nutshell about the poem once again. I shall discuss it in my own language. That is, at the time of Crimean War, when British soldiers were organized, that is 600 soldiers were organized in the name of Light Brigade, and they were ordered to attack the Russian soldiers, and when they went to the battlefield has been named here, that is Balaklava. That is, by going there, they were actually submerged under the terrible attack of Russian and Cossack soldiers, and they were being killed helplessly. Then after the completion of their attack, at one point they came back, but when they were coming back, there were not 600 soldiers, that is, maximum soldiers were killed, only a few soldiers were able to come back. Now the poet, according to the poet, the soldiers, those who are in the Light Brigade, they are actually brave soldiers, and they should be paid glowing tribute. Now here I have an intention to discuss another poem, and the name of the poem is I Died for Beauty, and it was written by Emily Dickinson, and you know he was born in 1830 and he died in 1886, and he was an American poet. She was an American poet, of course. She was a female person. Now let us see what is the poet trying to tell. I died for beauty, but was scarce adjusted in the tomb. Actually, here in this poem, we have come to know that someone is engraved in a grave. As long as he is a dead person, he or she is a dead person. Now, the person is actually kept inside the grave. Now, the person is not able to concentrate his brain inside the grave. That is, he is actually not in a mood to remain inside the grave. That is, when one who died for truth was laid. That is, someone else has been kept inside another grave in an adjoining room. That is, first person was kept in one grave, and recently another dead body has been kept in another grave. That is, these two dead bodies are kept into adjoining rooms, that is, into adjacent graves. And it's an interesting matter that even though they were dead people, they started to speak in this poem. We know actually when we die, we are not able to speak with each other, but here it's an optimistic matter that two dead bodies have started to speak, and it's really an interesting matter. Now let us see what is told in the second stanza. He questioned softly why I failed. For beauty I replied. That is, the first person when actually died for beauty, the second person actually asked what was the reason of the failure of his life. Then the first person told that he died for beauty, and I for truth. The two are one. That is, secondly, the person who was kept inside the grave, he answered that he actually died for truth. We brothers are, he said. Now the second person declared happily that since you died for beauty and I died for truth, we actually are two brothers. That is, John Keats also wrote in his poem that truth is beauty, beauty is truth. So here in this poem also, truth and beauty have been discussed as two parts of the same things, and the two persons have considered them brothers each other, and so as kinsmen met at night. You know, in the same family, father, mother, brothers and sisters, at night, wherever they go, they actually come and meet at the dining table, and exactly like this, the two persons have started to behave like kinsmen. That is, they considered themselves as the people of the same family. We talked between the rooms, that is, remaining into adjacent graves. The two dead bodies, two souls have started to speak until the moss had reached our lips. Now, in the poem, it has been told clearly that they continued to talk, but at a certain period of time, their talking was actually ended, because actually nothing in this world is actually nothing can remain forever. There is everything in the world is transient, and here in this poem, though they started to speak, and their talking was only for a transient time, and covered up our names. That is, moss actually ruined their lips, and they stopped their talking. Now the poem is line by line discussion ended. Now I am going to tell you in a nutshell that Emily Dickinson is an American poet, and actually she could try to give us a new idea in this poem, that even though two people are kept inside the grave, they started to speak, and by their discussion they could know that one died for beauty and another one died for truth. Since truth and beauty are two aspects of the same thing, they considered them as their brothers, and they continued they are talking, and they continued to talk until moss ruined their lips. That is, when moss ruined their lips, they stopped their talking. And this is all for today. Thank you very much, and you are requested to watch the class over and over again, and I will come with more classes again. Till then, goodbye. Assalamu alaikum.